Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. I'm Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm a spiritual medium and intuitive reader. I've got a wild and crazy message for Aries this week. To let you know how this works, I've asked my guides in spirit to bring a message through that will be specific but also spiritually meaningful for you as you navigate your week. And if you're new to this channel, I very much strongly encourage you to subscribe so that you can stay in contact every week with this high vibration information. It really helps to support you as you move forward on your path. But let's get straight into your reading. Things are happening really fast, Aries. So energy around you is the Death card. This is a good sign. This means that a new door is opening, an old door is closing. And there's a lot of new opportunities on the horizon, but it's kind of not like they're there for you to pick up. It's like this is opening the way for those new opportunities and a new way of life. And this is something that you've desired for a long time, this kind of long-term change, this long-term movement. And you respond with the Knight of Swords. So you are ready to go. It's like the horses were saddled already. You were just waiting for the sign. So you are moving and wanting to move very fast. And this is always a cautionary. When the Knight of Swords comes up, there's always some kind of cautionary for me, just as a personal thing. When I read the cards, either we're moving too fast or we're not considering everything. And I think for you, it's moving too fast because you're so impatient to get through this new doorway. You're like, yeah, I've been waiting for this for months. I've been ready to go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And you're kind of being one directional about it. So you just want to go forward. You're not willing to really look to the side or at everything. It's like as fast as possible. I'm like a speeding bullet going through that door. So let's look at the rest of what's going on. We've got the Three of Wands meeting the Four of Wands, Knight of Wands. So two knights, guys, two knights in the same reading. Speed, 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 and more speed. So he's meeting the Four of Wands, but then on the other side, we have the Judgment talking to the Queen of Cups. This is really interesting because the Judgment is trying to move the same direction as this Knight of Wands, but the Queen of Cups is opposing all this, and she's saying, hang on, wait a minute. You see how she really clashes with these other cards? Like if she weren't there, they're all kind of like going together, but she's like, whoa, baby, hold on. And we've also got the Three of Wands is also kind of foreshadowing the direction of the Queen. So I have so much I want to tell you. I'm trying to get it out as fast as possible because this energy is just like, ugh. So let me slow down for a second. So on this side, let's talk about what's going on behind the scenes, in the subconscious, in the emotions. These two cards together are kind of like, watch out. There is some kind of subconscious pattern from your past, from your emotional past, that is being repeated right now. And remember, we wanted this to be a new door. We wanted the old to die and the new to come forward. But this is cautioning you that there's something about this situation that has an undercurrent of a past pattern. And this is a past emotional pattern, possibly having to do with codependence, possibly having to do with the intuition being turned off. It's kind of like you were getting glimpses or glimmers and your intuition was trying to talk to you and you were so impatient to move forward. You were just like, no, let's keep going. There's just some kind of emotional, subconscious-y kind of thing going on. And this Judgment card is asking you to really look at this, get a bigger picture of your whole situation, because there's something opposing you emotionally. Let me just ask for a second if this is a person or if this is, no, they're saying it's a pattern. Can you tell me more about the pattern, please? So they're saying it's an emotional self-sabotage. So when things are going well, whatever you do emotionally to self-sabotage, so getting yourself overwhelmed, feeling like you can't do it, getting into emotional conflicts with people so that it pulls attention away from the forward momentum, something like that. This is kind of a dark energy, kind of that dark, icky kind of energy. So I'm going to leave them for a second and talk to you about these. You are very quickly wanting to build your foundation, and you're very quickly wanting to move your new way forward. And we've got them in a sequence, 3 and 4. So this new journey, that new door that opened, is already starting to, you're starting to take root. So we're going in this new direction. It's starting to really settle into your life as something solid. And this Knight of Wands is just, it's just putting more pressure to make this happen so quickly. So what I feel like is you're really caught in the forward momentum of all of this, and you're really wanting to just put it's like lay the foundation, put the posts in the ground as quickly as possible, because you're so impatient to get this new venture started. But again, we've got this happening here. Emotionally, you're not really okay with this change, or you're not ready for it yet, or there's an old attachment that has to be dropped. There is so much different energy coming in. It's like you're all moving forward, but for different reasons. You're resisting the forward movement. So let's talk a little bit about the Judgment, kind of slowing down here a little bit. Putting on the brakes. The Judgment card is helping you make better judgments. That's trite, but it's helping you see exactly what's going on. So do we have to move so fast? Can we back up for a second and ask, what is my intuition trying to tell me about this whole thing that's not quite sitting right? And also, why am I in such a hurry? So if this is a new door, and it's not just a tiny little thing, this is like a completely new way of life. Why am I trying to rush it? Why am I in such a hurry? Because something about ignoring your emotions and ignoring your other senses, ignoring the otherworldly things, the more feminine energies, you're not wanting to see the full picture. And so then you're not wanting to, it also kind of stilts the process and the strength of your venture. So in a nutshell, there's too much masculine energy, and you're not listening enough to the feminine energy. So while you're seeing a lot of movement, while you're seeing a lot of ideas come up, while you're seeing a lot of action and things just happening and rolling, there's not enough time to really sit and feel and receive what all of this means. So this Queen of Cups being so strong is really asking you to back up for a second and ask, in this new life, are you going to have the space for the creative reflection? Is this going to support the relationships that you're wanting to build? Are you going to feel completely at home in this new thing? Like, are you okay with this first, or do you need to sit down and address some things yourself? It's maybe like, this is really kind of a silly metaphor, but if you're trying to move, and maybe you have like 5 kids, and 4 of your kids are really excited to move, but one of them is not, and they're really sad about leaving their house. But instead of sitting down with them and saying, I see how you feel. Yes, this is a big change. Yes, this is going to be different. You're going to have to be brave, but there's going to be new things, and we're going to learn things, and we'll still be with you. Instead of giving that little child some time, it would be like if you just ripped them out of their corner where they're crying and stuck them in the car and ignored them. Like, we're going forward at all costs. I don't really care what you're saying. Your opinion doesn't matter. Not going there. So it's kind of taken us a little bit of time to get there, because an Aries in motion is pretty much impossible to stop, right? I'm acknowledging that. But there's a reason why this Queen of Cups energy is so strong, because if all of you isn't ready to move forward, there's going to be a blocker or a stopper later, or you're going to unconsciously sabotage it because you weren't quite ready to leave. That can happen all the time. You see it happen all the time when people have to move and they're not ready. When they are, and I'm literally talking about moving house. So when circumstances cause them to sell before they're ready to, or whatever, there's self-sabotaging stuff that comes up, and they're not even aware. So it's great that you've got all this forward movement, and I believe that there's nothing to worry about. Like, if you slow down, the opportunity is not going to leave. This new way of life isn't going to shut off just because you're slowing down. But you do need to take the opportunity to check in emotionally and check in intuitively and make sure that all of you is at peace and okay with this new direction. And then you know what? It's going to move forward even faster because this judgment card wants to align with the rest of this. It wants to move. But you've got to take care of this, that Queen of Cups. You've got to take care of that emotional water part of you first before all of this keeps going any farther. So thank you so much for sharing your energy and time with me today. I really loved doing that reading for you. It was a great reading. And I just want to mention, I do have some different offerings. TrueGuidanceTarot.com is the website to visit. I'm doing these really awesome online tarot classes where you can learn how to connect with your intuition through the tarot. It's unlike any other tarot class. They're really, really cool. And they're online, so if you're not in my state, you can always join us anyway. And the information's on the website. I'm also offering one-on-one readings if you're curious for your individual message. So I will look forward to seeing you next week, and have a great week.